Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce CMAtics video session 143. So basically in today's video, we will understand, what are the difference between each of the subcharts which are present on the line chart. Okay. So what does that mean? So on the line charts, you have four charts, right? One is the line, one is, the combo, one is the parallel coordinates, and the last one is the matrix header. So what is the difference between each of this, subcharts in the line chart category? Okay. So firstly, let me go to Analytics Studio and very quickly, let me open all the four charts. So what I will do is I will open recently updated. Okay, I will open the formatting option of line chart. Okay, I will open the formatting option of combo chart and will open the parallel coordinates and finally the matrix header. Okay. Now let me very quickly open my Notepad++ as well. So firstly, we will understand one thing, what is the minimum requirement for each of the subcharts which we have under the line chart category. Okay. So what I will do is probably I will just duplicate this tab and let me just quickly open this data set. And here, firstly, let's say if I go for the line chart. Okay. Now for line, basically under y-axis, you will eventually have this count of rows. Okay. That is fine. So if you just have a data set generated, automatically the lines will come into picture, not an issue over there. Okay. Now, if I select the combo chart, now as you can see here for combo chart, you need at least two fields for y-axis. Now that is not the case when it comes to line chart. In line chart, you definitely only need one field, and you don't need to mention it as we need at least one field, because one field will automatically be there if you have a data set. So when you have a data set, even if you don't have any measure field, you will still have the count of rows. Even if you have the complete dimension, you will still have the count of rows. Okay, so count of rows is a default measure which automatically comes into picture when we are displaying a data set. So when it comes to line, definitely it will be displayed. There's no minimum requirement. But when it comes to combo, and I think this is something I've written in my notepad as well, that you need at least two fields. Okay, you need at least two fields for y-axis. Okay, that's the minimum requirement. At least two field is needed to ensure the combo chart is there. And as the name suggests, like, it's a combo. Basically, you can have two bars, you can have one bar or one line, you can have one bar or one dot. Okay, that way it goes up, which is fine. Now coming to parallel coordinates. In parallel coordinates also, there's no thing as requirement. Now when it comes to matrix error, okay, so the minimum requirement is you need at least three field for axis and one field for polygon. So in polygon you can only manage one field, which is fine, but you need at least three field for axis. Okay, that's the thing. That is something you don't see in parallel coordinates. In parallel coordinates, you still see this particular value over here, like it's from 0 to 1.2k, because the total number of rows is only 1.2k. Had the total number of rows been in millions, you would have seen the number over here. Okay, so that's the thing about parallel coordinates. Fine. So I hope up till here it's clear. So that's the first difference, and that's a very important difference, that in line and parallel coordinates there's no minimum requirement. But when it comes to combo, in combo you need at least two axes on the y-axis, right? That is what is in my notepad as well. Two fields for y-axis, and the thing is that when it comes to matrix, rather you need at least three fields for axis and one definitely for polygon. So it's that way. So two field for axis when it comes to combo, but you need at least three fields for the axis in matrix array and one field for combo. Okay, to ensure that it gets displayed. That's the very important difference for sure. Now secondly, now if I come to this data set which we have built earlier. Okay, now how to identify this? So here if I just click on this formatting, the main difference which you will see is on all this option. Okay, so on whatever like that combo chart is there, we can open that and check. Fine. So here also parallel coordinates, and here we have something called radar chart. Now here if you see, when it comes to line chart, you have the axis mode. Okay, you can fill the area, and if you want, you can use the dash line. You can use the shade area as well, which it will get shaded in this manner, which is fine. Okay, you have varieties of option where you can show the points. Okay, when you can show the value as none. If you want, you can fill the area. If you don't want, you cannot fill the area. That is fine. Now when it comes to combo chart, okay, you have this option of stack bars. Now this is applicable, I told you the reason. Okay, so you have this option of stacking the bars one after the other. In line chart, of course, that's not possible. Basically a single line you are showing, right? So that's the thing about line chart. In combo, if you are going for bar, you can stack bars. Okay, and of course others are similar to this line, as you can see. Fine. And here the number of decimal digits also comes into picture, which you don't see over here. Okay, the number of decimal digits, I think the number of decimal digits might come under, okay, yeah, it's not here. Okay, so that's the thing about this. Okay, and then we have the autofill, and you, if you want to represent certain missing values, you can do that separately. So main thing is like under combo you will have this option of enabling the stack bars. Okay, that's something you won't be able to do because here you're only showing the line. Okay, that's the thing about this. Fine. And if I come to parallel coordinates, okay, we see we have this kind of things where, you know, if you want, like, there's no extra thing, like these are all, you can use the log axis, or, you know, you can show the points. That is something which is fine. You can start the axis at 0. So in parallel coordinates, if you want, you can start the axis at 0. I think that option probably you won't have over here. Okay, uh, yeah, that option we won't have over here. And also you can customize the series. So customize series means like how, whether, you know, each one of them needs to be added as line or uh, bars. Okay, so if it's a bar, you can stack it. Okay, and you have the option of choosing like which one of them you want to show as bar, lines, or dots. Okay, that is something you won't get in others, which is fine, which makes sense because that's why the name is combo. And in parallel coordinates, like there's no much of an option. You can show the points, you know, the default option which we have anyhow in other charts as well. Now when it comes to matrix ladder, there also like nothing much. If you want, you can just show the points or the measure title. Find something which is available in others. So the basic difference is like in the four of them, the ones which I told you, what is the minimum requirement for which the chart needs to get displayed, that is one thing. Secondly, over here, the thing is that mainly under line you will have that option of, you know, choosing the axis mode, whether you want to show as single, dual, or, you know, what was it, the small multiples. Okay, that is one option of the axis mode which you get under line. When it comes to the bar, basically under bars you can actually customize the series. Fine, whether you want to show as bar, line, dot, in all those axes which is being displayed, that is definitely over there. And for missing values also you have that separate option, and as well as on the axis board. So basically when it comes to line and combo, you have that liberty, okay, to choose the axis board. Fine. And basically under combo you have that extra option of stacking up the bar, or, you know, formatting the series. Okay, customizing the series, if you say. Fine, that is something which you won't see in definitely in matrix rather and parallel coordinates. That option is definitely not available at all. Fine, so that's the thing. And one more thing is like here when it comes to lines and polygons. Okay, so for example, like here, if you can select many other dimensions. So under lines and combo, you have that liberty to select further, like to group by further dimensions if required. Now in parallel coordinates, you cannot group by. You have that option of lines, but you cannot group by further. Okay. So one more thing is like under line and combo, you have this option of x-axis. Okay. But when it comes to parallel coordinate, you have an option of line, and when it comes to matrix header, you have an option of polygons, and that polygons and line, the grouping can only be done with one dimension, and on x-axis on the line and combo you can do the grouping on multiple dimension. That is not an issue. Okay, so yeah, I think this is more or less about this one. Nothing much other than that. Of course we have to play around and check what are the other stuffs which can be done. And I think the reference line also, if I'm not wrong, I guess the reference line also is something you can actually add. Yeah, the reference line is also something you can just add under the lines and combo. I think in combo also, if I'm not wrong, you can add it, I guess. Yeah, you have this option of reference line. So let's say I want to add the reference line at, okay, let me write it as, yeah, 20 million. And other than that, you know, the similarity will always be this one. So basically, when it comes to the general similarity of title, subtitle, it will be same in all the cases. Okay. And here x-axis you can add the custom domain, which is fine. You can add the custom domain on log scale, which is fine. And the legend, okay, the legend tooltip trellis chart path finish format, this will be same. Okay, the general, the legend tooltip trellis here also, if you see, okay, that's the same. And here also we have the same thing, which is fine. That is not a big deal. Another similarity is like, showing the measure title, showing the point, showing certain axes. Here of course, in the radar chart you cannot go for, I mean, we don't have that access into consideration, so there's no question of adding the log scale and all those things. And here of course you have that option. So yeah, one more thing is like in parallel coordinates you have that option. In parallel combo, I think in combo as well. Yeah, basically in metric setter you don't have that option of log scale, something which is there in line combo and parallel coordinates. Fine, so that's the thing. And other than that, legend and all, everything will be same. Okay, so just to recap whatever things we have discussed, the first point of difference, okay, is the fact that in line and in parallel coordinates you don't have any minimum requirement to showcase the chart. When it comes to combo you have to definitely show at least two fields for y-axis, and when it comes to metric setter you have to ensure there are three fields for the axis, as well as there is one field for polygon. Okay, the secondly, the thing is that when it comes to the line and combo, you have that option of showing reference line. Okay, and that is something, the reference line is something, here, just give me 1 minute. Yeah, the reference line concept is something you won't be able to show, you won't be able to show in matrix, rather than parallel coordinates. The reference line format is something you can show only in line and combo. Okay, now the third difference is basically that here under line, okay, you can actually have that option of using the dash line. Okay, and that is something you won't be able to get. And also in line and combo you have that option of choosing the axis mode. Because it is dealing with axis, we have the option of choosing the axis mode. Okay, something which you don't get to see under parallel and matrix, only you will get to see under lines and combo. Fine. And other than that, also it's the fact that here basically under the, I mean, under the combo you have that extra options where actually you can format the series. Okay, I think that, let me just tell you that correct term. I actually, for customize, yeah, it's about customizing the series. And also if it's in the combo, if you're choosing bar, you can actually stack the bars one after the other. That is only option which is available under combo, not available anywhere else. Okay, so yeah, this is are all the differences between the different subcharts which are there under the line chart. And yeah, depending upon the requirement, we can always go for what is the suitable option, uh, to choose any one of the subcharts under the line chart. Okay, so yeah, that's it about this video. And basically in our next video we will actually start with the next part, which is the dates and times, and we will check each of them how it works out. Okay, so yeah, that's it, and let's meet very soon in our next one. Thank you.